Hello, this video is to help you increase your credit score. My name is Alex Paglioni. I'm not a lawyer and I'm not a credit repair specialist. So everything you're about to see I have learned through my own experience. I have personally written these letters and I have employed these techniques to improve my very own credit score. I'm going to share with you what I have learned throughout the years. I went through some financial difficulties during the recession years, and I went from having a 500 credit score all the way to 813 or 825 that is now. So having said that, there are a few things that you need to be aware about your credit. The number one, most common mistake that people make, they focus only on removing stuff, but they never think about increasing the number of good accounts that you have on your credit report. So your credit report, if you have 5 accounts and 5 accounts are derogatory or you have bad credit, 100% of your credit is bad. If on the other hand you have 20 accounts and only 5 are bad, well, 25% of your credit is bad. That said, a good way to increase your credit score is to increase the number of accounts. So you increase the number of accounts with a credit card. You apply for a credit card. If your credit is that bad that you cannot get a credit card, then you ask for you get a secure credit card. You Google secure credit cards and find out one that suits your needs. I prefer you have 2 or 3 $300 credit cards with a balance of $10 each. So don't use them, just use $10 every month and then pay it off, and increase the number of accounts rather than having one with a $1,000 credit limit. So if you're going to spend $1,000 increasing the number of accounts, use 3 secure credit cards with $300 each on the limit, and put and use every month $10 or $20 and pay it off. Never exceed on a credit card over 30% of the balance. Never exceed. So if of the balance of the high credit limit. So if the high credit limit is $300, 30% is $90. Don't exceed. Don't make a purchase over $90. Never pass on the balance over 30%. Another way is to become an authorized user. And an authorized user on someone else's credit card. An authorized user is you are authorized to use the credit card. You are not financially responsible for it. And the person who's granting you that right to become an authorized user, it doesn't cost them anything. They don't have to give you the credit card. They don't have to give you the credit card, and you don't have to have access. It's not like you're gonna go on a shopping spree and spend money on somebody else's credit card. What's gonna happen? The person calls the credit card company and it gives them your information like your name, last name, social security number, and a new credit card will be mailed to that person's house. Now when the person receives that credit card, that's it. You only become an authorized user just to build your credit. No other reason, not to go on a shopping spree. So you become an authorized user, and by you doing that, all the good paying history or bad paying history of that person throughout the years automatically reports to you as well. So if the person have had the credit card for 5 years and been making the payment on time for 5 years, well, all of a sudden now you have a 5-year account reporting good payments, and it shows on your credit report. Cost your friend or relative absolutely nothing, and there's no liability on them. It's not like their credit report is going to decrease. The credit card gets mailed to them to their address. and you get all the benefits. On the other hand, if you don't have anybody, make sure that the credit card that they give you, that they have a low balance in relationship to the high credit limit. So the high credit is, say a number, $1,000. Make sure they don't owe more than $300, and that they've always paid on time. That's the whole idea of becoming an authorized user. On the other hand, if you don't have one like that, you can actually do a Google search, and I'm going to show you what to do. Authorized user trade line, and Google automatically gives you a bunch of sites. This company, let's see what this says. This is Superior Trade Lines, and we have a short video on how much they cost. Normally they cost $500-600 per trade line. And just research authorized user trade lines. The second thing is best secure credit cards. Okay, and then you're going to have a bunch of them that are going to show up, and then do your research. The next thing is you want to reduce the balances of your credit cards. So when I say balances, I mean I often see with low credit score, if the high credit limit is $1,000, you see someone with a balance of $1,100. That will kill your credit score. That'll be terrible for you. Anything above that $300 mark, it works against you. But the closer you get to the 100% of the limit, the more negatively it affects you. So bring those balances down as much as you can. Make sure that your utilization ratio doesn't exceed 30% of the high credit limit. Now, if you don't have the money to pay off those credit cards for one reason or another, try to increase the credit limit. So you call your credit card company. If they increase the credit limit to $3,000 and you owe $1,000, now you're at 30% of your credit limit, which will drastically improve your credit score. Alternatively, if they increase it only to $2,000, then ask them to and you owe $1,000, now pay that off. 2,000 times 30%, it's $600. So pay, make sure that you bring the balance down from 1,000 to 600. So you ask for a credit increase, you pay it down, so the balance is below 30%. Also, we have a Blue Castle Lending. We have 2 credit simulators that when we run your credit, we can use on you. So we have something called Wayfinder and then What If. And with those 2 technologies, we can play with your credit, seeing what will happen if you do this, what will happen if you do that, to bump up your credit score to where you need to qualify for a mortgage. So if we have taken your loan application, we can tell you exactly what you need to do to improve your credit score. The only cost associated with that is a 5-star review on Google. We don't charge you anything. We want to help you achieve your home ownership dream, and just help us with a 5-star review, and that's that. Third way to increase your credit score by 15 or 20 points, go to optoutprescreen.com. By you opting out, your credit score will go up 15, 20 points, sometimes 10. Another thing is, if you have an old account that you have had open and you want to close because they want to charge you an annual fee or something like that, when you close that account, you lose all that seniority, all that age that you have on the account, it may cause your credit score to drop. So try never to close accounts, keep them open, even if it costs you a few bucks every year. Now, the next thing that you can do to help your credit score is to prevent new derogatory information entering into your credit report. Any late in the last 12 months will be drastic. It will kill you. It will kill your credit score. So please don't pay anything late. And what is late? Over 30 days late. So you can be 1, 2, 3 days, 5 days late. You can even pay on the 15th. Now you're going to pay a surcharge because now you're paying late, but it will be reported paid as agreed. On the 31st day or on the 31st day, they slam on your credit report a 30-day late, and that will be very detrimental to your credit score. So please don't pay anything more than 30 days late. Pay 29 days late if you like, but don't play with fire, but try to pay on time. The second thing is, by any chance you went to a hospital or a doctor, you don't agree with the bill, they send you an insane bill. This happens all the time, happens to me too. And even though you have insurance, and they send you these stupid bills, and you have insurance that should pay for that. Regardless of the reason, you may get from time to time, you may get a collection agency sending you a letter saying that you owe money to Sprint, to the cable, to FPL, to a doctor, to a hospital, etc. When you get these letters, do not ignore. Answer those letters within the allotted times, which is 30 days. You need to write that letter within 30 days. If you don't respond to that letter, it will end up on your credit report. And now you have a new collection on your credit report, trashing again your credit score. You don't want that. So answer that collection letter. If you respond to that collection letter saying that for them to prove that that debt is yours with a contractual agreement, they have no choice but to not report to the credit report and keep on contacting you trying to collect like this. So I have created my very own set of collection letters into which I ask the collection agency to provide a fully executed written agreement with my signature that created the original debt. You will be able to download this on our portal. What's in black, in bold, is what you should replace, and then make sure that nothing is bolded when you print this and you mail this. But I put it in bold so you know what you need to replace. Again, I have created my own letters, and I'm not a lawyer. So use your common sense. Use, if you want to. If you have any legal questions, ask the advice of a lawyer. My letters keeps all the creditors so far, in my experience, at bay. Use your own discretion. If in the event that they contact you back and ask you again they still trying to collect. Now my second letter is a little bit more intimidating than the first, when basically I'm accusing them on extortion, and I define what extortion is, what is a felony, and they're violating the Fair Credit Reporting Act, and that to remove the extortion efforts. So go away. Go away, don't bother me. These two letters will have them go away. If they still continue, persist, don't ever stop responding, and keep a copy of these. So you sign them and you send them within that 30-day period. So these two letters are pretty good. They simply go away, and for the most part. Now let's assume now that that collection, they didn't go away and they ended up on the credit report, or you have a collection on your credit report. Now you need to remove it. You have 3 apps or 3 sites that you should need. Credit Karma will dispute TransUnion, so you can use Credit Karma. It's done all electronically from your phone, really easy. Go to Dispute Center, boom, done. And you dispute, you always say the same thing, that this is not a valid debt. 2, Equifax, you're going to have to go online to myequifax.com and dispute over there. And number 3, for Experian, you can download Experian again on your phone, Experian Boost, I think it is, and they have a dispute center and you can dispute it. Experian and Credit Karma are almost automatically, so it's beautiful. You dispute today, tomorrow they're gone, and that's fantastic. Now Equifax, it takes they take their 30 days. So let's assume that comes back and they deem that the collection is valid. Again, I have created my own set of letters for the credit agency. And remember, I'm not a lawyer. So in the credit report, I'm asking the credit agency, and on this letter, I'm going to ask the credit bureau to essentially treat the data as not valid and remove it from the credit report, until they can prove that there is a legal basis for them to achieve that. So always ask the credit letter. You send this letter to the credit bureau, usually works, it gets removed, and it has worked for me. If your debt is older than 7 years old, by law, the debt, the derogatory information needs to go away. So if the day you committed the 30-day late, or the collection, or that you stopped paying, that's the day that is being counted. So quite often the credit report, you have old stuff. Well, if you have old stuff that is 7 years old, as per when you look at your credit report, you see that the delinquency was 7 years old or more, you can get that removed, no questions asked. So how do you do this? I created again my own letter stating the law that says that, and reported as of the first delinquency, last activity, and you simply again fill what's bolded, you replace that, and at the end you sign it, you delete of course signature, you delete this from the letter, and you remove all the bolded stuff. But you send that letter for all the accounts in one letter. You don't need to put many. In all the accounts that the date of first delinquency is older than 7 years. For the most part, you have now all the tools to really fix your credit. There's one more thing, is when we run your credit in Blue Castle Lending, we have our own software. We have 2 softwares, Wayfinder and What If, that we use, and we play with your credit report, letting you know exactly how much you have to do to increase your credit score to a point to qualify for the mortgage, and so you don't have to everything paid down to 30%. So when we use our simulator coming directly from the credit bureau, it let us know exactly what you have to do. Lastly, when you do a mortgage, you're going to have to remove any and all disputes. So make sure that if your disputes, and we can give you a mortgage with collections, we're just going to have to use those collections again against your debt to income ratio. We're going to use 5% of whatever the collection amount is against your debt to income ratio, and if you don't qualify, you'll have to pay them off. So it's wise sometimes to get rid of those collections through these systems way before you apply for the mortgage. So when you apply for the mortgage, you have a good credit, and we can help you buy a house right away. That said, when you do the mortgage, you'll have to remove the disputes. So make sure that disputes are finalized before you apply. I hope you have found this information helpful on your users to purchase your home. Thank you very much for your business, for your trust, and don't forget to help us with a 5-star review if you find this information helpful. Thank you.